to Manchester United, and their chances of picking up silverware were all but ended with defeat to Brighton in the FA Cup, and talks are set to accelerate over the next 24 to 48 hours over hiring either Michael Carrick or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as interim head coach until the end of the season.
I've had zero indication, and because all my energy and focus and concentrations had to be on these two games in such a quick turnaround and preparing the team, a 3-game week, you know, everything that I said. So and I genuinely mean that. It's a massive responsibility to lead this club, and I've given it my best. It's not about a manager, it's not about directors, it's about everyone, and the players have to group together, take responsibility, find a way of improving quickly and taking on the challenge for the rest of the season. Don't waste the season.
OK, well, we have a football correspondent, Rob Dorsett, joining us now. Very good morning to you, Rob. Look, could we see an appointment before the weekend? How likely is that?
I think it's very likely. And in fact, I think the next 24 to 36 hours I think will shape the interim head coach position at Manchester United. I think by the end of play on Tuesday, I think we will know who Manchester United's head coach is for the remainder of the season. As I've had it explained to me, United's bosses are accelerating the process right now. I think that they wanted to get the FA Cup tie against Brighton out of the way. They didn't want distractions from that. And Director of Football Jason Wilcox, who is leading the search for the interim manager, was helping Darren Fletcher a lot. And I don't think the club wanted any distractions from that match yesterday. Now that game has been and gone, and United know they've only got the Premier League to focus on, remember, I think that the entire focus at the club now is on appointing an interim manager. And it is a straight choice between Michael Carrick and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Both men have now met with Manchester United's hierarchy. They've done that over the last few days. But I'm told that further discussions are planned with Michael Carrick in particular today. I haven't been told whether there are any talks due with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Read into that what you will. Nobody is telling us anything specific on that at the moment. But what I do know is that that man in your picture, Michael Carrick, very much impressed Jason Wilcox and the other Manchester United bosses with his plans and the pitch that he made for the job until the end of the season. Although, of course, there is an awareness as well of just how popular Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is with supporters, and they know him very, very well from the job that he did in his previous stint as interim head coach. So Carrick definitely having more talks today. Solskjaer we're not so sure of, but I'd expect Manchester United to make a decision between those two in the next 24 to 36 hours.
And look, what does it mean for now? Darren Fletcher, could he continue as part of a setup? You're kind of wondering how he's feeling and what he's been told as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, these are the discussions that are still ongoing and the things that Manchester United's bosses are still assessing. I think now that game has finished, they'll fully take stock of Darren Fletcher's role. And it isn't clear yet whether he will have a role to play in the coaching setup under the new interim head coach. It is possible, of course, that he goes back to his substantive job, which is as Manchester United's under-18s head coach. He's the only one of the three that we're talking about here who's already employed by Manchester United in a full-time role. So Fletcher said to us after the game yesterday that his plan is to go into Carrington's training ground first thing this morning and talk to his bosses and find out what they want for him next. I think for all of these people, it feels like an awful lot is up in the air at the moment. But from Manchester United's perspective, I think a lot will be answered in the next 24 to 36 hours.